Mic check, mic check. All right, I'm here. All right. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope everybody had a good day. It's evening time. Um, I just came up here, to have a conversation real quick. I had to get something off my chest. I haven't been here for a while. Been, just examining and working on myself, getting myself ready as we still continue, even though it's very early in the new year or the calendar year. But when you start to examine yourself, right? You start to look at yourself and you start picking out, what you feel you need to work on, what you think your weakest link is, and you begin to process and work on yourself, right? When you do all of those things, that means you have to take time away from things and, more importantly, people, right? As most of y'all know, I've been talking about this is the year of the one, and the one is you yourself. And so, like I said, when I've been looking at myself, I've been getting strange reactions. I've been getting strange response. I've been getting, you know, distance. I've been getting a lot of things because one, I need it, but you would never think that people would disagree with it or disagree with what you decide to do with yourself. You would like to think that people will rock with you even as you are in transition mode or improvement mode. But a lot of people aren't. And it's kind of sad because, you know, what it what it what has brought me to understand is that success, it brings hatred, right? Your success, right, brings hatred. What do I mean by that? I mean, as you sit there and examine and look at yourself and you start to work on yourself, um, people may not agree with what you're doing. People may not agree of why you're doing it. The fact of the matter is you're not looking for you may not be looking for their approval, right? You don't need their validation. You're doing this for you, right? I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I know that there's room for me to grow, right? There's room for me to get understanding. There's room for me to improve on the things that may be a necessity to me, but a want for everybody else, right? It's not to look down on people. It's not to look at people sideways. It's not to do any of those things. It's just for me to get, you know, to to want better for yourself, to add to the abundance that God has already given me, right? So that's what I've been doing. It's not because I'm tired of you know anything in particular. I just want to know. I just love to learn. I love to improve. I want to be a better version of myself, right? But even as you go through that, right, you begin to work and you start to see you see the progress. You feel the progress, right? And as you go through those things, people look at you like, he think he better. I'm not better than nobody. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I am doing this just for the well-being of my mind. I'm doing this for the well-being of my spirit. I'm doing this because I feel that I can improve on things with when where it needs to be done. Right? I still am in a growing process. I am having a growth spurt, so to speak. But even with that, because I am developing new things, new ideas, new visions, new uh observation skills, all of these things, right? What's going on with you really, even as I go through that, right? You're gonna see hate. And I it's very easy to say, misery love company, because that's a true statement. Let's just keep it 100. There's a lot of people that can't overcome their obstacles and want you to just float along with them. They like the process of poop uh rolling downstream, right? They like that stuff. But when you want better for yourself, when you want to become successful, when you decide I need to go ahead and do this and that. You improve on yourself. You improve on yourself, and when that happens, you are becoming. And when the growth occurs, you are growing. I mean, you are becoming successful at it. They're gonna really dislike you. There's people that's disliking you for no reason other than you want to be better than what you was yesterday or what you was a month ago, or because you are maturing at a level that other people can't seem to grasp or understand, or maybe they don't want to grasp or understand it. That's not for me to figure out. Excuse me. My goal is to, as I'm improving, I give what seems to work for me. I put it on tape. I put it on apps. I put it on streams, just because it may work for somebody. It may help somebody. It like when you grow, selfishness is not a part of it. It stunts your growth. Let's just be honest. But even though I'm supposed to be selfish with myself, right? As I'm taking all of this information and I'm observing, I'm reading, I'm listening to other people go from here to there and everywhere. What I get, I give it, right? Because I'm that type of person. I am very selfless. Whatever I have, if it's available for you to receive it, I will give it to you. If I have it, you have it, right? Even if it's not literally the shirt off my back, but if I got it, you got it. If I rock with you, you got it. If I don't rock with you, if you need it, it's going to you, right? And a lot of people don't have that in their surroundings. A lot of people don't have that type of compassion that's around them, because there are people that just hate. They hate the fact that someone of your capabilities is able to do something like that. Whether it's information, whether it's a sound advice, whether it's just you on the other end, just taking your time to listen to somebody else go through what they go through. The success of you doing that is going to bring hatred from somebody else, because they don't have the sense to do it. They don't have the morality to do it. They don't have the understanding that, if you are there for somebody else, it's not about a reciprocation thing, but it just brings you a sense of morality to do it, because it's something right. We always talk about how common sense ain't common. How much is morality is being lost in the mix, right? The morality, the sense of all right, I gotta have compassion for this person. They ain't got a roof over their head. Let me go over there and feed them. Or there's somebody going through so much and they have it bottled in that they are tearing themselves up. Let me lend my ear, right? Things like that. That's a Whether people understand it or not, that's a success, because there's a lot of people that can't do that. They can't do it at all. They don't have it in them to do it, because they don't care. They don't care about nobody but themselves. Those are the ones that I'm not trying to be like, because we have enough of that in the world. We have enough people that's doing that. I'm not one of them people. I will sit there and listen. You could talk to me for 3 hours. It won't be a problem. I am that one that goes checks on people. I am that one that, hey, what's going on? You good? How you guys doing? Y'all all right? Whatever. Hi, watermelon. What's going on? Right? It's because I have been blessed to share that opportunity with somebody. Everybody doesn't have that, right? Everybody don't have that one that's available. Like, you know what? Maybe they'll, I'ma just bottle up and no, that's corny, right? And because you got somebody like that, there's somebody in your background lurking, hating on you, because you got the one thing that you need and they won't provide it for you. That is called hating. That is the pure personification of hating. You could done what that other person is doing, but you don't want to do it because you rather watch somebody go through a downfall than help them elevate themselves up. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's straight corny. And at the end of the day, you ain't hurting nobody but yourself. Because that person that needs you, or that need that ear, or that needs that help, they nine times out of 10, they know they're not going to receive it. It's that one that's going to give it to them. It's that one that's going to provide the attention. It's the one that's going to be there to say, hey, how can I help? Or whatever the case may be. You hurt yourself because you are painting yourself in a bad picture. That color that you think is pretty it makes you look ugly because you don't have the sense and the morality to say, you know what, let me elevate myself to become successful in whatever I am doing. I'm just talking about in general, as far like I'm just talking about just being there for somebody. The success of you in a business, that's definitely going to happen, right? If you come up and you become successful at even in this thing, right? I don't think I do what I can, right? I don't have the 1,000 and 10,000 and 20,000 views. I don't have the subscribers like that. I don't worry about that. But I also know that there's somebody in the background that's possibly hating because I took the time to make myself available to do this thing, right? I don't, I'm not expecting a pat on the back. Why? Because I said that I know I'm doing something that nobody else did. Of course, my peoples, the ones that encourage me to do it, I shout them out all the time. Realist Watermelon, Meat, Selena. I shout them out all the time because they encourage me to do it. I'm not looking for thanks for doing this, to be quite honest with you. I'm just doing this because I felt like nobody else was going to do it. I've done this because we see so much chaos in here that somebody should, you know what, let's try to make a peaceful area. Let's do a great thing over here. Right? That's what led me to the sports channel. Right? I do the sports channel because we it's nothing about sense. It's just a way for you to get away from it. Monday nights we talk about wrestling. Friday nights we talk about wrestling. During the week we talk about particular sports. Football's getting ready to go out. We starting to talk about basketball. Lately I've been talking about the NBA trades and things like that. All because all because I'm trying. There's people going through things out there in the world. They need a getaway. They need an escape route. They need to get out of their own reality, right? And when we come over here, a lot of people think this is not real, but sometimes people bring their reality on here, right? Some people they so down in the dump, they so doom and gloom that they bring it over here. And a lot of times, yay, we come up here, we just had a conversation. What you going through? You need to talk about it. Let's go. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we need. That's the success that I wanted to bring here. That's what I'm not saying that people's hating them. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't care. I really don't. But the vision the vision that's being seen out here, it's really crazy because if you sit back and I appreciate y'all. If you sit back and really, really observe what's going on in real life, in YouTube, because a lot of people don't think there's people really bringing people down because misery loves company. The hate is on this thing. The hate is in real life, right? But if you have that one, if you make that one elevate themselves and come out of the doldrums, and they no longer going through what they're going through, and they see that there's light at the end of their personal tunnel, their personal situations. That's a success for me, right? If I ain't doing it, somebody else do it. Hey, I cheer you on. People that's been around me, they understand what I'm talking about. People like there's been times when I would, I pray for people. I used to pray for people on here. We develop friendships and things like that on that level. And it is still rocking as far as I know. You understand? All because I see somebody going through something. I'm not gonna sit there and watch you go through it. I want you to see there's a better version at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I tell y'all all the time, in your darkest time, a beautiful thing can be developed. Right? As we came out of the womb, right? We came out of the womb, we didn't see the light, but there was light coming out, right? There's no light in a mother's womb. There's only life there. But when you come out, you see the light. So a beautiful thing can happen in dark times. And I would be happy to say I've done it all the time. I'm not saying that I do. What I'm saying is the success is that you are helping somebody come out of their doldrums. You are adding to, if you got a business, you can give that one person a shot at a job that nobody else wanted to because they quote unquote underqualified. We see people in the world right now who's overqualified that can't get a job. But whatever you see in that person, you give them that job. That's a success for you. If it doesn't work, you try. But if it do work, you brought that person up. You gave that person a new meaning on life. Why? Because you took a shot when nobody else took a shot on them. And that's the thing that we have to understand, because you have the success and you have the understanding that that person can become something. You can elevate that person. But here we are on the other side. Don't trust that person. That person ain't nothing. Oh my God, let me tell you what Jim did, and let me tell you what Jane did. I don't care what Jim and Jane did to you. If they burn me, if they cross me, that's a lesson that I gotta eat that, right? It's not about a I told you so moment. Sometimes you gotta learn, you have to experience things in life in order for you to know that it's possible that it can happen to you. Even with that, that's a success. A success. Why? Because now that you understand that the failure occurred, you know how to prepare for it not to happen to you again. These are the things that we have to understand. The success in your life, right, is because you overcome some things. I've overcome things. I'm pretty sure Realist overcame some things. Watermelon probably overcame some things. Anybody in the back, y'all might have overcome some things, right? That's the success part, right? The hatred is that somebody is they're gonna screw it up again. They're gonna screw it up again. Why they gonna screw it up? Because that's what they do. Because you got people that always want to sit in the cut, like I told you so. I've been waiting for your downfall. I hate you because I hate you. And that's the funny part, right? We was talking about this Monday night, right? We was talking about how Roman Reigns was sitting there like, yo, I don't want to be you. I hate you. I hate you for the things that you've done to me. But I caught myself falling into your trap. So I succeeded, but I hate you because I almost fell for it. There's a lot of people that go through that type of situation, right? But what he was saying was, I learned my lesson from almost falling into your tactics for your trap. I learned from it. Now I can't rock with you like that because you's a rotten dude. You tried to make me do something and come out of character. I understand that part, right? But the fact of the matter is, the success is that you didn't fall for it. That's what I want y'all to understand. The success is you don't have to stay in the doom and gloom. You don't have to stay in the down times. You don't have to stay in the depression. You don't got to stay for none of that. Why? Because you can overcome anything because you are a success in life. I don't care what the people tell you. I don't care what a therapist may or may not say. I don't care what a doctor might tell you. They could tell you whatever they want. You got the power within you to become a success and have people hate you because you are successful. I don't even care that people hate me because I'm doing the right thing. Right? I don't. Why? Because it brings me a peace. It brings me a relaxation that I am doing something that not many people will want to do in life. They would rather hide in the background. They would rather, they would rather just watch. And damn, that's kind of messed up, man. You know, people start doing what if I had the opportunity, I have the opportunity. The people that encouraged me to do it, they gave me the vote of confidence to go ahead and take a shot at it. We got your back. Even if we ain't here, we got your back. But even because of them, it allows me to build the confidence in myself to say, you know what, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I feel good about it, right? Even if like I said, if they're not here, right? I still have to be me. You have to be who you are. You don't have to be a low vibrating person. You can always elevate. That's a success. You don't have to be depressed. When you elevate, that's a success. When you overcome the situations that is holding you down, that's an anchor on your ankle or a yoke on your neck. You successfully overcome the situation. It may not be a victory in totality because it's an everyday battle. But the haters gonna tell you, nah, you ain't overcome this. You still here. I'm still around. I'm still lurking. This is why people have battles within them. The spiritual battles is a real thing. It's the success versus the hate, the elevation versus the downfall. All of these things happen in your life. You have to understand that when you are successful, you are rising. When you are failing, when the hate is around, you could be stagnated and on the decline. If you are elevating, you are improving. If you are where you are and decreasing, you are changing for the worse. This is why I don't like to use the word change. For that reason alone, as I just explained it, right? You can change for the better, but I'd rather improve because I've never seen nobody improve to be worse. A decline is just that you going down. An incline is you going up. That's why they separated the word. A climb is a climb. It's a movement, right? You incline, you go up. You decline, you go down. Those are the things that's just the everyday battle for a lot of us, all of us, right? There'd be times I'm like, I don't have the words, so I'd rather stay away. But then I turn around and say, you know what? I make her find it. I make a Riaz, good evening. I make her find it over there with Mr. 33, the alter ego. I might go over there and find it, and we sure enough, we sit there, we shoot the breeze for about, oh my God, it's 2 hours. I didn't even know, y'all. My bad. Sometimes it be going so well, I get mad because I stopped. I set up a time limit, even though we could have been rocking for 3 4 hours just talking about the same event all night. But the fact is, we could talk about it. We could put our ideas up. Yo, we could make this prediction. What you think? What you think? Oh, I think we could go that way. I think, yeah. I think, yeah. And we can build and come to a conclusion together. There's no hate behind it. There's no disrespect behind it. It's a bunch of people coming together to get their minds in likeness. That's a successful moment for me. Why? Because we are not over there talking about anything that's hateful. We ain't talking about nothing that's negative. Even if we start talking about the NBA, one person like the Mavericks, one person like the Knicks, one person like the Pistons. We shoot the talk. Yep, yo, hey man, the Knicks got their ass whipped. Yeah, you saw what Dallas did to him. Yeah, that young boy looking right. But we keeping it there. Like, damn, y'all some trash. Okay, we gonna meet up again. And what does that do? It makes a community to where we could talk our talk, leave it there, no disrespect coming through. That's a success. The hater gonna try to flag you for something like that. I can't worry about that. Because the truth is, it ain't gonna work. Why? Because hate gotta lie. Hate gotta do some real nasty stuff in order for you not to succeed. That's the battle. The battle is if you doing the right thing, if you doing your best, I promise you, your situation is gonna be there because God is gonna do the rest for you. It's not about a spiritual thing. I'm just telling you how it goes. If you doing everything in the right way, in the right form, in the right situation, the hate gonna come and it won't be touched because your foundation has already been steady. It's been formed already. How? Because anybody that's been on your content, right? If realists go up there and have he just had a conversation, right? About, whatever it was. If you consistently listen to realists, you know it's a opinionated thing. It ain't something. Chelsea, what's going on, Chelsea Lynn? It's not about you hating on anybody. It's just you giving an opinion. I wouldn't go about it that way. I think I would go that way. That's how he is. Um, it's because he's consistently doing it. He's consistently being who he is, right? Like this young lady that just popped up, Chelsea Lynn, right? She's elevating herself because she's giving her opinion about the sport that she likes to watch. She watches a lot of football. she's sitting there consistently talking about, well, I don't really like this, that, and the third because I don't think it fits with that team. From what I'm hearing, her team is the Steelers. She don't like the fact that Mike McCarthy was hired because it's not a good fit for them. That's her opinion. But at the same time, people might not like her opinion and try to hold her back from voicing her opinion. But she has the strength to keep going forward with it. Like, nah, you can say what you want. This is just me having a conversation, and we'll have a like. I've been in her chat. We'd had conversations. I'm asking questions. She's responding. We probably was on there longer than we should have been on the topic because we just going back and forth with the conversation. Oh, she a Cowboy fan. My bad. Oh, damn, my bad. Oh, ooh, excuse me. My bad. I ain't know you ain't like them black and yellow people. But well, you ain't rocking with them. But the point is, she goes through it. She'll have a conversation even with teams that she don't like. Why? Because she has the opportunity to expand her horizon. She just don't do something or talk about the things she likes. She talk about the things that she did, she may not like, but it's all containing to a conversation. She'll listen and she'll give her opinion, and if the conversation goes, but that's a success that she's building. But the hate gonna come because for whatever reason they might say she's a girl, she don't know what she's talking about, and that's just people that's going to hate on the fact that she's becoming successful in the conversation. And if you really listen to what she's saying, a lot of the things she's saying, it actually makes sense. Just because common sense ain't common no more, sensible things is always going to make sense. It may not be as common as you want, but sense makes sense. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And when you have that, you have success. We has been doing the same thing for a long time. He's been pumping music on his side of the pond, doing what he do. People been hating on him because they just hate that what he do. They just hate him, not hate him, but they really strongly dislike him. He's still doing what he do. He's becoming his numbers is rising because his consistency is showing that, hey, I'm doing what I need to do. He's a success at what he do. Watermelon, she do the makeup thing. Well, she ain't been, she probably ain't been as live in a while. But the shorts and things like that, she's showing you how, if you make yourself up, hey, I mean, you might could be beautiful already, but if you make yourself up, you could be even more beautiful, right? And people says she's a success because people is liking and commenting, and they may be subscribing to her to this day, right? That's a success. The hate is, well, she only look good because of makeup. How do you know? If you don't check the content out, she might have been on screen with no makeup. She might have took pictures without makeup. You don't know, but you just hating because she's successful at what she's doing. Or real, you might dislike realist because he's successful at what he's doing. Stop hating on people because they are doing something that's making them have peace in their life, have a successful rate of elevation in their life, right? It's just them doing what they like to do. It's them just coming out of situation that elevates them from dojo, maybe, right? If I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about sport because I don't want to be around the real world. The sports is going, we can stick to sports and that's it. But the hate is going to come because you're trying to, no, I'm not, I'm trying to change the reality for some people because some people don't, the understanding is some people might have had a rough day. And if they come over here and talk sports with Mr. 33, if they come over there, if they come over there and talk sports with Mr. 33 and we leave it there, I could have took their mind off of anything that was negative at that particular point. That's the success for Mr. 33. That's the success for me. Why? Because at the end of the day, there are people that's really going through things in life. And they may not be able to overcome it, but your kind word, your kind gesture could make somebody darkness turn into light. You are successful in making them feel like they may be something. There's something better for them besides the doldrum that they may be going through. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe you beautiful inside. I do. I do. You beautiful inside. You beautiful. You just a beautiful person, right? That's just the truth. And when you go through those situations, and when you overcome the doom and gloom of a situation, you know what I mean? People like it's been times I came on here and I spoke because I needed to get away from real life, losing family members, losing friends, all of these things, all because that was making me think the wrong things. But I come on here and I talk and I might help somebody out and they may help me out. That's a success for both of us that's having that conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, your success it doesn't necessarily mean monetarily. Success happens at anything. If you are victorious over overcoming a loss of a loved one, that's a success. You overcame it. You know how many people don't get over things? Y'all know my story. I lost my mom at 13. If I was not if I was still thinking about I think about it, but if that thing was holding me back for 30 some odd years, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So I overcame the loss. How did I do that? Because I knew that my mother would hate the fact that I would be holding on to that pain and suffering for so long. My grandmother would have told me, "Yo, go on out there and help somebody else to overcome a situation." Those are my strong points in my. Those were the strongest people in my life. One was fighting till they left the earth. The other one was fighting because she lost her child and still was trying to have a positive outlook on life. Those are the strongest people I ever seen in my life. These are the things that we have to understand. That's a success. That's never a failure. It's never a failure if you overcome something. It's never a failure if if you supersede what other people think. Because at the end of the day, you should know yourself to know you could be a success with or without anybody. That's just the God honest truth. And that's and I don't care what nobody say. You all can be successful. I get it. There's a lot of people, everybody ain't made to be successful. That may be true. But what else could be true? Two things could be true. That may be true. And the second thing is it may not be you that has to be unsuccessful. You don't have to live in that hate forever. You could rise to the occasion and become successful and got away from that hate. This is what we have to understand. This is what we need to know going forward. Because at the end of the day, there are people that's hurting. And with that hurt, they become spiteful. And as they become spiteful, they become hateful. And when they become hateful, they don't care who they touch, how they touch them, how further down they go in their life. That's where the misery love company comes in at. And at the end of the day, you have to know that you could be a success even as you go through the doom and gloom. There's a season for everything. There's a season for rising. There's a season for falling. It may be time for y'all to say, you know what? It's time for me to come out of this doom and gloom. This is what Watermelon says. The makeup is an escape for when I am mentally and or emotionally overwhelmed. It's one of the ways how I overcome my mental struggles. So, in other words, what she's telling y'all is she hates the fact that she is overwhelmed. She hates the fact that something is really trying to keep her down. But the success of the makeup and the artistry that makes things beautiful, makes her beautiful, and it allows her to become a success that she overcame the fact that she was going through the situation that she was going through. And that's the thing that we have to understand. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to do. We have to find our way out of the doldrum. We have to find our way from the hateful things that's keeping us underground and rise up and become successful so we can actually stay on top. We got to get out of the valley and come up to the hill. We have to do that because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be depressed. Nobody wants to feel like they're overwhelmed. As Watermelon just told you, she don't want. If that's the case, she would never do makeup. She would never want to overcome that situation. Whatever. I'm gonna just sit there and go through it, man. I don't care, man. She could have gave up on life. She could have gave up on whatever held her down. She could have succumbed to whatever that was keeping her underappreciated. And realist is absolutely correct. Everybody got that one thing. You got to look inside. I tell y'all all the time, you are a storehouse. You are a storehouse because something is that's in you can make you become the greatest version of yourself, even if you in the doldrums of life, right? You can do that. That's what makes you a success. Money doesn't make you a success. There's a bunch of millionaires that's a bunch of idiots. It's a bunch of billionaires that may not have the heart or compassion of a kind person. A lot of the time, those people are selfish enough to say, as long as I got it, I don't care about the rest of y'all. That's not successful. He's just that person is just successful financially. There's something that's hateful inside of them that don't want them to have that peace of mind to where they come from. My 33 brother, what up though? What up though? And that's what I'm saying. Here's another one. This is my guy. This is my guy right here. He could have just sat in this situation for a long period of time, right? For those of you that don't know, my 33 brother, he had an incident in his life that made him blind. He could have sat there, well, legally blind. Let me say it like that. He could have sat there and did the woe is me thing. He's a success because he overcame that thing. He's still rocking and rolling. He's still doing the things that he has to do. He's still being a good dad. He's being a good husband. He gives time to people when he got the time. That's a success. That could never be a failure. You understand? If he was to really just sit there and say, you know what, I hate everybody because I'm going through what I'm going through. That hatred will not allow him to be successful in the person that he has become. That man got a heart of gold. That man, listen, man, I normally talk to this guy maybe twice a week, right? And when I don't hear from him, he could tell you like, he checked up on me. That's what I do. And it ain't no funniness because love is love. Love is a success. Whether people understand that or not, that's another story. But love is love. I've grown to love these people. I've grown to love this dude like a brother. You understand? Like, damn, yo, you don't even understand, man. I'm sick like a dog, man. Yo, did you go to the hospital? Come on, you gotta go to the hospital. Yo, my wife told me, you need to listen to her, man. You gotta stop playing before she choke. That's a successful friendship. That's a successful relationship. And there's people that say you can't even develop that on this app. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. Because I'm telling you, I'm not saying this out of belief. I'm saying this out of straight knowing that you can make anything possible. I made a successful friendship with this man on this app. There's nobody. He can tell you himself. You can do whatever it is that you want to. Whatever you want to do, you could be a success at it. That's all. That's the bottom line. Like I said, whether it's Chelsea, I'm pretty sure Chelsea Lynn, when she started her channel, she like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and she probably hit a slow time, and she could have easily gave up. But the successfulness in her said, "Nah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep striving." And now she's rocking and rolling. You understand what I'm saying? She got people in the corner like, "Yo, I got you. I'm gonna hit you up with this. I'm gonna let you go use that. We gonna see you rise." That's a success. Ain't nobody trying to sit here and live around hatred all their life. But the hatred is going to come with the success because haters are going to hate. Okay, that's what's up though, and that's what I'm saying, right? Because the real thing is like for the past few weeks I haven't been on this. I haven't been busted down brown, right? It could have been very easy for me to say, you know what, man, I don't have it. I'm throwing this shit out. I'm going over there with Mr. 33. No, because I understand that when that time arises again, I'm gonna I'm I'm gonna have something to say. Like tonight, I had something to say tonight when and it's coming out. It's it's not because I haven't had nothing to say. It's just because this is what I'm viewing. I'm observing this right now. I'm observing that people that are successful is being knocked out of the way because hatred of them becoming successful. That's corny to me. That sucks. And at the end of the day, like I said, I love the fact that people can overcome the hate and rise to the occasion. I want people to do more of that. I want people to elevate to a better version of themselves. You know, even as I'm going through the 42 days of Mahat, I've been fasting for the past some odd days because I've been allowing the virtues of Mahat to really resonate in my life, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to see how that can resonate with everything else that that I've learned in life. And I'll talk about that another day because I promise you, it all connects, right? And that was a successful fast for me, right? People ain't supposed to be talking about their fast. I'm talking about it because I'm really like my mind is clear, my understanding is becoming clearer. The fact that I'm observing like I've never done it before because I'm taking the time to really focus and pay attention and sit back and listen to people and do all of those things. The fast is a success. The hate is gonna be, oh my God, he really think he know everything. I don't know everything. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing because I don't know everything, and because I don't know everything, this is what leads me to do the things that I do. So that's why I'm doing it. But the hate is gonna be, oh, he's too smart, or he think he's better. It's not about being better than anybody. It's just the fact that I want to improve myself to become a better busted down Brown than I was last year or when I first got here. Those are the things that I'm working on. Even with Mr. 33, we fumbled the ball, so to speak, last year as we started that channel and we were supposed to did a fantasy league. We didn't do the right things to get it up and going. Right now, because I failed at it, the success is learning from my mistakes. So now I'm going to go early and take my time and do the fantasy league. I was going to do an NBA fantasy league, but I didn't. I didn't get the response that I wanted. We might do that next year. It's the same thing. You learn through your failures. You don't have to sit in the hate in the hate of the failure. The success is learning from the failure. The success is making sure you don't do that again. Because if you don't do that again, you know how to elevate yourself going forward. And that's the thing that we have to really, really touch on in our lives, right? We all got different situations. We all got, you know what I mean? Life is life, and right? Even if you don't keep in touch with all the people that you met and grew up with, or whatever the case may be, life is life. And it doesn't mean that they hate you. It's just that life is life, and they're trying to become successful. And sometimes becoming successful is you got to worry about yourself. You have to be selfish with yourself. And like I said, because this is the year of the one, I have to take the time to focus on myself so that way I could be a better person. I could be a stronger person. The weakest link won't no longer be my weakest link anymore. You have to focus on yourself. It doesn't mean that you hate anything, you hate anyone. It's just that you don't want to be a weak link. You don't want to be a person of spite. You don't want to you want to have clarity in your life. So that's what we have to do going forward. We have to do that because if we don't do it, then we're not we're not gonna succeed rather, excuse me. We're not gonna succeed at anything because we keep worrying about the validation of other people. But the confirmation that you need in your success, it comes from within you. Everything starts from within you. We've been speaking about, well, I've been speaking about that for a while. My 33 brother been speaking about that for a while. Everything starts within you. This is why, like I tell y'all, you are the storehouse. You Everything starts with you. He is that is within me is he better than he that's in the world. Anything that's within you can make you overcome anything that the world is trying to present to you. The hatred of the world it should not supersede the success and love that you found about yourself, right? In a relationship, somebody left you, the love for yourself, all right, that's their loss. It's not that you arrogant with yourself. You love yourself enough to know, all right, well, that's their loss. Now, if you the one that caused the breakup, now you got to look at you know what? The success is I admit my faults. I may have cheated on him. I may have cheated on her. So I can't get mad at him or her if they left. That's a success because anybody else would say, I ain't do that. I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? BDB, what up, Nine? And things like that. The success is you overcoming the hatred. Whether it's temporary or permanent, you just got to keep working at the success, right? You're battling within yourself. You're battling as word would say, a jihad within yourself, the good versus the bad. And what I'm saying is you battle the success battles the hatred, and the hatred got to battle the success. They can't coexist. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just saying what works for me. Because I hate something, I can't want it to be successful. I can't say I hate the Patriots and want them to win the Super Bowl. That's hate. Now, of course, in reality, that's just you rooting for a team. But I'm saying there's people that really hates a place, a team, a thing like that, or a person just because, and they don't even know why they hate the person or the thing or the team. It's been programmed in you just to dislike it very, very much, even if they're successful. Now y'all see over there, talking about the Patriots, you see they didn't want the winningest coach or the second winningest coach and the owner of the most successful franchise. They don't want them in the Hall of Fame because people are hating the fact that they did it their way. Okay, they may have broken the rules. They try to bend the rules or whatever the case may be. Hey Mo, how you feeling? And because of their success, there are people really hating on them. You can't. Oh, they'll get there sometime down the road. No, if you earned the position, give it to them now. They worked hard to be successful. Don't hate on them because they worked hard to be successful. They may have cheated a couple times. They didn't cheat the whole entire time. They fixed their flaws and still won in spite of the flaws. They were a success. But y'all mad because y'all couldn't match up with the person, so you hating on their success. That's sports. But don't y'all think that happens in real life? Don't y'all think that happens in everyday life? There are people hating on people because they overcame certain things. Mo tell you all the time. We just congratulated her for her sobriety. But just imagine how many people hate her because she did what she felt was right and became sober. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the way of the world. That don't mean that you gotta follow that pattern. Continue to work on your success. Let the haters hate. Let them dislike you. If they despise you, that's their problem. You don't have the problem. You got a success rate to work on. I need to keep working on myself, right? For all the spiritual people, all the Christians, your time is getting ready to come up for fasting. What are you fasting for? You fasting to become successful in whatever you looking for in that fast. You ain't doing it because you hate it. Because if you hate it, you ain't gonna do it. And that's the thing. And even with that, if you guys need help or whatever, I'm gonna make myself available for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. We need people to say, you know what? I'm gonna support you with whatever decision you make. Nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. But a hater gonna be like, you know what? They too kind. Mind your business, hater. Bye, hater. We don't need you around us. And that's the thing that we really we understand we don't need that. But there's too many people looking for validation because you doing the don't look for the validation. Continue to focus on the confirmation that you're doing the right thing, the successful thing, the overcoming thing. Work on yourself. Because as you see, a lot of people ain't making it to these ages that we are in right now. That's just being truthful. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop worrying about the hate. Stop worrying about the people that's mad that we overcame, you know, My guy, my 33 brother, he overcame losing his sight and still becoming successful in doing what he do. Right? Mo, she comes, she overcomes the alcoholism, and now she's successful, and people want to hate her because she did what she needed to do. Screw them people. They don't count. Watch the impact that you make on other people. That's the success that we need to be focused on. One could reach 1,000, right? If this reaches one person, I succeeded in doing what I'm supposed to do. I could go forward. I could move on to another topic. Unless they want, hey, you think you want to have this conversation again over here? Okay, cool. I don't mind it, right? And that's why I tell people all the time. Sometimes people could take what I'm saying, put it in their own perspective, and reach 1,000. They are success. They're successful in doing that. There's people that have good communication skills. I wouldn't hate them for it. I would dislike it if they don't you take that and use it to their advantage to do what they need to do. It's not a hate thing. Just because you see somebody with talent, if they don't see it themselves, don't hate them. Try to make them see it themselves. Make them become the success that you need to that they need to be. Because sometimes what they need, they may think it's a want and won't look for it and won't work on it. And that's and I promise you, I know each and everybody that's here has seen that at least in one person. You know what I mean? That's I agree with that, Chelsea Lynn. I agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say when you are online, when you live, or when Mo's live, I make sure I'm there with you, because even if I ain't there, I show you I'm with you in the replay, just to show you that, hey, you are doing the things that you need to do. I only want to rock with people that's doing the right thing. I don't go everywhere over here and listen to just anybody. As a matter of fact, I haven't really even been on here because I catch people's shorts, I catch people's things like that. But if they ain't live, I'm not. Hey, I don't get the alert. I'm not on here. I'm trying to find things that's going to help me do what I need to do in life, real life. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. That's what coming together with my 33 brother. That's his perspective of a better you is a better us. Because if we continue to work and trying to make somebody a better person, we become better people because it makes us work even harder. That's the success that we have been trying to put on display for the longest period of time. He's been doing it for close to 4 years, and I'm working on, at the end of this year, 3 years. But the fact of the matter is, we have that much confidence that people want this thing, that we are going to continue to push. Now, don't get us wrong. There's time that frustration and stagnation is trying to fight against us. That's the hate of the mind. Because if we don't feel like we're being received, we might shut down. That's just the truth of the matter, right? Yet at the end of the day, when you have the morality and understanding that people is going to fight the urges of success and improvement, they're going to try to push you away. But meaning that they want it, but they don't want it because they're afraid of the results. I'm telling y'all, there's people who are afraid of being successful. People try not to do things because they're afraid of the success, not because they'll fail, because they might learn it. They won't hate them. They are so afraid of the success. They are in fear of it. They begin to hate success because they are that much in fear of success. It's sad, but that's just the truth. That's just the way this thing goes, and it sucks. You know what I mean? Because you really got people that really want this thing. They don't turn their wants into needs, and so they sit back and just watch the downfall of a thing. They got to work. There's work to be done. It's time for us to work away from the hate and see the success that's in front of us. The question is, how many of us want the success? and leave the hate where it's at? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves going forward. These are the things that we have to figure out as we progress, as we improve. Um, that's just the way this thing goes. I'd rather channel my frustration into a positive energy than to allow it to fester inside me and spread like a poison to those around me. I listen. That's another thing I might talk about sooner or later, right? Because a lot of people don't understand the difference between healing and being cured. It's two different meanings behind it. One is just for a specific thing. The healing is for the entire body, you know, the whole body. Cure is like you want to cure a specific thing. You might want to cure depression. You might want to cure MS. You might want to cure HIV. You might want to get that type of thing. But the healing is when the whole body is in its proper form and is ready to operate in the way it's supposed to operate. But until that time, but people think that's just curing, but that's healing when the whole thing works together. You are healed. You are healed from a situation. That's a success. Now, curing is a success too. It's just a small portion of it. The haters just gonna say, you know what? I'd rather just sit here and go through this whole thing and leave the earth with what I got. Nah, that's not good. That's not good enough. That's the hatred in your life that don't want you to become a success. You gotta fight those urges. You gotta fight those quote unquote demons. Because that's all it really is. It's holding you down. It's holding you back, and that's not a good place for any of us to be, right? And like I tell people all the time, if you think that's what we want y'all to do over here, you in the wrong spot. You in the wrong station. You on the wrong channel. And that's why we have to continuously work on ourselves, man. That's why during this year of the one, if you truly know that this is the year for you to improve, get at it. Start working on yourself. Activate the powers that you got within you. Don't let the doom and gloom overwhelm you. Don't let the hate tell you that you are something less than what you are. We are all a success in this life. We may not feel that way all the time, but we can get there with work. I tell y'all, work while it's day, because nighttime, no one's going to work. You can't work on yourself in the afterworld. I'm not worried about people giving me my flowers right now. Because if they give it to me while I'm going, it ain't gonna make a difference. I get the flowers because the confirmation of me doing the right thing, that's the success that I'm looking for. I don't need the validation. I don't care if people hate on it. The confirmation is the peace of mind that I get when I know I did what I need to do. And I'm fine with that. I can rock with that all the way to the end of time. And I want y'all to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want for y'all to do. So, you know, I'm just going through reading all the comments. You know what I mean? And I'll just say what up, BDB. You know, it's very hard for us to. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we are success. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves just because we're going through a downside, just because it's raining, it doesn't mean that the sun is not going to come back when that rain is gone. Just like sometimes we have to prepare ourselves for the rainy days, we got to prepare ourselves for the sunny days. But because everybody think everything is going so well, they don't prepare for the rainy days. So what happens? They get caught, and when they get caught, they start to hate. And when they start to hate, they start to feel bad. And when they start to feel bad, they give up on things. They give up on people. Even in my downest of times, I will never give up on people because I understand that it's an everyday battle. I understand that the success is overcoming that depressed thing. I understand that I had to overcome that doom and gloom situation. So, I gotta work. I gotta continuously work. And as I continuously work, I know that even if I'm on the verge of going up, I know that there's still more work to be done. Success don't just end because you made it to a particular point. There's still room of growth. There's still room of understanding that elevation is a continuation. If the sky is the limit, just because you on the first part, you off the floor, it doesn't mean that you at the highest of sky, highest point in the sky. That's what makes you continue to want to be successful. Until then, that's what perfection is. If people work to be perfect, even though you know you will never be perfect, the striving for it is going to make you keep going till it's time for you to stop. And like I said, that's the reminder that we all need going forward. That's the reminder that we need to keep pushing, keep going, right? Because as soon as we stop, as soon as we feel confident or we feel, all right, I've done enough. Now there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth, right? Just like as long as you pour hatred into you, there's more room for that too. But we don't want to decline. We want to incline. Just keep looking up, keep working up, keep pushing yourself up, keep pushing yourself forward. As much and much more you become successful, you can keep putting hate to the backside. You can literally put it down, because even if you try to bury it, somebody's going to try to pull it back up, bring it back to life. But your success, your learning from here on out could make you see that the hatred is not forever. Your success, you got to continue to work at, but your hate, you got to keep working to keep it away from you. So, with that being said, like I said, I truly appreciate everybody coming through. I'm glad to see some people. I haven't seen them in a while. I missed a whole bunch of y'all. I haven't, like I said, I life been lifing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have to work hard to continue to be who I am. Continue to work at what it's not that I don't have the time. Sometimes you, like I said, even when you start looking at yourself, you gotta make sure you got time for yourself and to improve on yourself. That's why I love this year. This year it's telling me I have to focus on myself. I have to make sure I feel myself, because it may be a time when nobody else is available to do so. So you have to be selfish with yourself. Just look at it this way: if you become selfish with yourself, your strength of love, compassion will be built inside of you. And when it's built inside of you, no one can take away from it. They can only add to it. So if you go with that perspective, from that perspective, hate don't got a chance. Your success does. But that's what you guys, that's what we all working on. Us together as a group, us individually, we got this. I'm telling y'all got this. Trust yourself. Continue to know yourself. Don't believe in yourself. Know what you are capable of. Know that success dwells within you. Know that the hatred that people have for you, it can't last forever. As long as you work on yourself, elevate yourself, know yourself, that hate don't got a chance. So with that being said, I like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. I'm sorry if I sounded long-winded. Um, I just had to get that off because I really just, you can hate the situation, right? You can hate that success brings hatred, right? There's nothing you can do about it but encourage those to be successful and not worry about the hate. That's the only thing I can give y'all. And if that's what I just did, you know what I mean? I did my part. If I didn't, that's why I gotta work on myself. So that understanding of what I'm trying to say is being resonated, is being understood. You know, like some people, what they say, some people don't like meeting people where they at. And I understand that. A lot of the time is because you don't want to be down in the doldrums. Because like I said, there's some people that will keep you there or try to keep you there. They will try to make you stay there and lose your sense of self, right? So I understand that. I just know if I got to meet somebody where they at, I'm strong enough to get myself out of that situation, or either pull them up or leave them there. They don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And that's what I want people to understand. That old dog don't know new tricks. That's a bunch of trash. Because as long as that old dog know that there's room for growth in the mind, he's straight. He may not bark like old Yeller, but he can be crafty. He can get out of those situations. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what we need. We need to understand that as long as we have that newness of mind, that newness of information, that newness, that growth spurt in the mind, you will be successful. You can live a long, long time with the success of knowing that you could become better, or better, dare I say, you will become better, because if you know what you got to do, it's time for you to do it. It ain't nothing else. It's nothing else really to talk about. So with that being said, y'all, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming through. Uh, I don't know. I can't even tell you today. I'll be back. I just don't know when. I ain't gonna lie to you. So many thoughts run through my mind that I want to talk about. I have to take my time and let it form, because sometimes it's inspired, and if you rush it, it don't sound correct. So y'all continue to be patient with me, but I'm around. Like I said, my 33, Rilla sees me a lot. Chelsea sees me a lot. Mo, we miss you. I'm glad you're here. I hope everything's well. Maybe you're going through what I'm going through. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Mo. But that's what I'm saying. It's it's the time it is mine, but the time is mine, Mo. But the information and the wealth that I feel that I have, I can't take it with me. So I might as well give it to the people that want it, or they feel that they need it. That's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, y'all, I truly appreciate y'all being here. I'll be back. I'll definitely be back. I'll be on Mr. 33 side in the next couple of days. But I'm around, y'all. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm glad to see everybody's doing well. We had crazy weather for the past couple of weeks, but we all still here. We all been blessed to make it through that situation. I know Chelsea Lynn, she got hit with ice, snow, wind. I'm glad she's still, you know what I mean? I'm glad she's still around, because that snow up there was hitting her different. Appreciate y'all coming through though. I'll see y'all later.